and while people love the characters in my universe, the response to the business owners and unique spots all over the city was often just as big, and sometimes bigger. Then the COVID-19 pandemic happened. New York City had it bad. The city shut down. The streets were empty. Tourists were gone. New York has been counted out so many times before, but time after time, we've come back. The Daily News Ford to City drop-dead headline era of the 1970s, the gritty 1980s, 9/11, and however many other ups and downs you can count, New York has weathered everything. But the pandemic was something else. Along with the death toll, hospitals filling up, and people leaving, businesses were closing left and right. The only thing I figured I could do was make videos of owners trying to keep the lights on, and also share information on how to help them and other New Yorkers who are struggling to get through one of the scariest times any of us can recall. Fortunately, we were able to make an impact and raise enough money and garner enough support to help keep many businesses afloat. Once things started to reopen, I found myself in a unique position as someone with New York in their name. Everyone wanted to know my favorite places in the city. They had questions: where to get a good bialy, if the pizza at this place or that was worth trying or not, and where to find the best selection of jazz on vinyl. Some things I could answer, others I had to investigate. Eventually, I figured there had to be a better way. This book is basically one big answer: 100 go-to spots across all 5 boroughs. This is not just a guidebook. This is a document of a moment in New York City. It's a moment of transition. What does the future hold? I have no idea. But I'm hopeful that these small businesses will always have a place here, and that in 20, 50, or 100 years, when somebody walks into a bookstore and sees a copy of this book, they'll open it up and find that all the places we went to are still in business. There are hundreds of other businesses I could have included in this book. To make it a little easier, I didn't get too deep into bars, cafes, and fine dining establishments, etc. I love those places, but the fact is that I don't spend a lot of time in bars, and I'm more of a plate and eggs at a diner guy than a cloth napkin one. Believe me, it was hard to get this list down to 100, but it felt like a good benchmark. Some are places I've been going to my entire life, others I discovered during the pandemic, and some recs were suggested to me by friends who know certain neighborhoods and communities better than I do. Either way, my hope is that the choices in some small way represent this beautiful city that is my home. To me, it doesn't matter if you're from out of town or born and raised local. This book is for everybody, the same way the city I care so deeply about is open to all who show it love and appreciation. I hope you'll check out as many places as you can. When you do, be sure to talk up the owners and employees. Learn what makes them get up every morning and keep going despite the train delays, random people yelling, weird smells, high prices, and everything else the city throws their way. If you do, I promise you'll start to understand what took me 23 years to figure out. New York City is a million things, a million businesses, and more than 8 million people. All of them have their own unique stories, and it all comes together to make my home a world unto itself. Manhattan. There's a reason locals call Manhattan the city. You have nearly 1.7 million people residing here, and that doesn't even begin to count the non-residents who are here on any given day, from tourists to commuters from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Connecticut. I get how it can seem chaotic to outsiders. There's constantly a jackhammer pounding in the distance and car horns blaring, and you can't go more than a block or two without seeing scaffolding covering a building. Since I was born and raised in Manhattan, it's normal to me. Some people love it and thrive off the energy, but I can understand how not everybody gets the city. From 1785 to 1790, Manhattan was the capital of the United States, but I think the Founding Fathers were pioneers at recognizing that New York City isn't a town for everyone. Today, Manhattan is New York City's center of finance, media, entertainment, and government. This by default makes it a kind of unofficial capital of the country and arguably the world. Some people don't love it when New Yorkers say that, but I don't make the rules. Whether you've lived in Manhattan your whole life or are in town for the weekend, there's always something new to see. It could be somebody creating art on the sidewalk, but it could also be something simple, like the beauty of an old building up in Washington Heights that you've never noticed, or somebody dancing in the Washington Park fountain. A lot of my picks in this book are in Manhattan for the simple reason that I'm from there and I spend a lot of my time there. Manhattan is where the Harlem Renaissance, Beat Generation, and punk rock all happened. It's hot dogs in front of the Metropolitan Museum of Art.